My name is George Sarris, and we are looking for a Christmas tree. This is, I think, my son is 40 years old this year. So that means we've been cutting down Christmas trees since he was about 2 or 3 years old. So like for the last 38 years, we've been coming and cutting down a tree. All these down here is all spruce.
But those are little.
I know. Well, he said to get a 10 or 12 footer is going to be tough.
Okay, so...
But he said the further you get off the beaten track, the bigger the trees are going to be.
Yeah, okay, so we started it a long time ago when the kids were little, and we would go to this certain place that had one day when you would go and find your tree and you put little ribbons or whatever you wanted, little ornaments on it just outside. And then you went back another day, probably a month or several weeks later, and cut it down. So it was 2 times of fun and for the same price of the tree.
This way.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going up the funny way.
There you go, the sunny way. That's a good idea. Looking for a tree, finding just the perfect tree, cutting it down, dragging it home into the house, putting it up, and it became a real event that my children really enjoyed, and now my grandchildren are enjoying it as well.
I'll have to look at that one. Do you know where it was?
About 2/3 of the way down the hill.
Okay, well you guys are going this way, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a Fraser fir. Because how do we know it's a Fraser fir?
Blue, green.
Blue on the bottom, green on the top.
But I usually have blue on the top and green on the top.
Yeah, you like the blue part. That's why we get a blue spruce, because they're blue. Directly in front of me is a maple tree, and right in front of the maple tree is a big blue spruce. That was the one I told her to maybe go and find.
First of all, you got to find out how big is your house. You want to have something that will fit into wherever the space is that you're going to put it in. We came here one year, we got this beautiful tree that didn't look so big out in the field, but when we got home it was like gigantic. And how are we going to put it, how do you get it through the door, how do you get it into the window area where we were going to have it? It was kind of difficult. So we've kind of realized that you got to understand where you're going to put the tree first. Then you can decide how tall it's going to be, how wide it's going to be, and so that's a real key. Oh, that's a beautiful tree.
It's going to have a thin back, so turn that towards the window.
That's a nice tree. Kendo, what do you think about this one?
When I was a little girl, we used to get balsam, triple needle, double needle balsams, but that was in a different part of the country, so we don't really see those here. And so we've gotten Fraser firs that we like, and now for years we've tried to get blue spruce. And it's a very sturdy tree, and it's just a beautiful color. I think this is it. And
Okay.
Jane is upset it's blue spruce. However, some of the family doesn't like it because the needles are pinchy. But it's sturdy. We have lots of ornaments that mean a lot, and some are heavier, and so we do a blue spruce.
Yeah, but there's space right here.
Yeah.
And it'll fall right down. It's not going to hurt the other trees around there, and it's not going to come just all of a sudden crashing down upon us.
So we have to have somebody on this side pushing and someone on that side pulling.
Yeah, we can. One of the things that I think is really important is look at your ornaments. Do you have heavy ornaments? If you have heavy ornaments, you want to have branches that are not going to sink down when you put them on there. Like this tree here, it's a pretty sturdy tree. So you can put really heavy ornaments on it and it's still going to be able to fit in well. Sometimes we have some ornaments that have a big long portion at the top, and so you want to have some place where you can put it on so it's going to come down and still have room for the big ornaments. So you want to think in terms of what kinds of ornaments are you going to use for your tree as well. There we go. All right, good job. Good job. Okay.
1, 2.
Fuzzy bear, not you.
Don't pull up, babe.
No?
No.
Oh,
We're just flipping over this tree.
Whoa.
You got the tree out?
Yeah.
I got this corner.
There you go. If you're going to go out and get a tree, you got to realize how far are you going to have to carry it to get to the place where they're going to wrap it all up. And do you have somebody that can carry it with you? If you have just your wife and a bunch of small kids, that means that as the father, you're going to have to carry this gigantic tree all alone. That's one of the advantages of having grandchildren. You have the children as well as the grandchildren, so you have lots of people that can help carry the tree to where it's going to get bundled up.
I love outside. I love trees anyway, so it brings the outside inside. It's such a season of blessing and of kindness and generosity and love seems to come out. Almost no matter where you are, shopping or at the trees or anywhere. It's a kind of family time from Thanksgiving on. And the tree, like I said, we have ornaments that through the years we've gotten for each of the kids or we've gotten as a family, and it's a lot of remembrance, good remembrance. There are sad ones, but it is a time of remembrance and of getting together and the warmth of family and that tradition.